Red, 100 XP gained. Save the planet. Right. Hello everyone. Good morning. It's an absolute beautiful day. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is safe. Hope you've had a good week. And now that you're out enjoying the weekend, I'm out with Red and my other half. We're on our way to Stevenage bike stop, or bike stop in Stevenage, I should have said. Myself and Red have a little test ride with Zero motorcycles. So let's talk about that a little, shall we? So for those of you who have attended any motorcycle shows, probably within the last couple years, or just like to keep in the loop of motorcycle manufacturers, new bikes, etc, etc, I'm sure you've heard of Zero Motorcycles, the motorcycle manufacturer that only produces electric bikes. Now, myself and Red, we've been looking at some of these electric bikes, you know, out of interest. Yeah, I suppose you do need to always consider it. You know, it is deemed as the future. And I don't know. I think we're fairly mixed, because the range that some of these bikes produce, I just feel isn't enough. In fact, nowhere near enough. Not so much in town. You know, I can understand the 125 electric bikes, but I can't understand when you get to the bigger style of motorcycles, when you get to the, you know, the equivalents of 500s and 600s, the range isn't there. And for a bike of that size, I would expect it to be. I would expect to be able to do a lot of miles on fast roads. For example, on a road like this, it's a dual carriageway, it's 70 miles an hour, national speed limit. I don't think those bikes will last very long on roads like this. You know, dual carriageway, motorways, you know, 30 miles on one of these, or a motorway for that thing, is like, it's almost double, I would say. You know, the mileage just drops. And they don't hide from this, you know, they do say it on the specs on the website, that if you're in a city or a town, you know, you are going to get more miles. If you're on the highway, they say it, the motorway, doing 70 miles an hour consistently, you're going to lose about 30, 35, 40 miles. I just, it's not enough for me, because the city range will go from like I don't know, some of them it's like 135 miles on a single charge in the city, but then 90, 85 miles on the highway. Bearing in mind you've got to get to the motorway. I'm not sold, really. But that's not very long before you're then having to find a service station that has the correct charger for the bike, and then I don't know how long you're going to have to be stationary there for. So yeah, it's fair to say I'm not completely sold. Right, so here we are, myself and Red, as well as a few others, out on the test ride on the Zero motorcycles. Firstly, there is no noise, which obviously we knew, you know, it's not a big surprise, but even when you know it and you get onto the bike, it's still a crazy thing to experience. It's still a crazy thing to ride, and you can't hear any noise. All you've got is the noise of the tires on the road and the traffic, and especially when you come to a stop. That is crazy. I do love that little whine of the accelerator. That's really fun. I'll tell you what, it's so weird not having the clutch. It is, in fact, very strange. I keep going to try and pull it in, and it's not there. Oh, great fun. I could listen to that little every time. That's a terrible impression. Really bad. Oh, I hope it picks it up on the camera. That sold. Sold on that noise alone. So in the brief talk we had on the bikes just before we went out on them, we were talked through all the gadgets and gizmos that they have. They have corner and stability, they have ABS, they have traction control. They literally have everything that you would expect a modern bike to have. And with it being electric as well, very quick on the throttle. That obviously as well depends on what mode you're in. And Zero Motorcycles have been very, I think they're running this very well, because halfway through this test ride we're going to pull over and we are going to get to change the mode of the bike. Right now we're all in eco mode, which is obviously the most, what shall we say, the most sensible mode. Obviously the less power the bike can, the least power the bike can give, and the more saving of the battery, etc, etc, so more miles, as you would expect with eco mode. But halfway through we're going to be changing to sport mode, where the bike gets unleashed and we'll get way more power, and yeah, efficiency will go out the window. That is not my indicator, that's my indicator. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to pull over now, push the mode button in, and then it's flash. That's mode street, that is mode sport. So we're all in sport mode now. Absolutely buzzing to give this a try. Eco's been impressive. Should mention it's not a long test ride, but it's just enough just to enjoy it. And straight away you feel the throttle there. It's a lot more responsive, and oh, within us. Oh yes! Wow! You cannot beat that throttle. Oh, that is incredible. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That throttle response, the acceleration. Oh, I could do that all day. That would not bother me at all. Let's make sure we get that corner. Oh wow! If anything, it's quite shocking at first. That would take some getting used to. The responsiveness, if that's a word, of that throttle. Wow! Obviously, it being electric, you know you're going to get instant power, but the difference between eco and sport, oh, it's breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. I hope I've got a chance to thump it on another straight. So I suppose the question you're all wondering is this the future? Are electric motorcycles the future? And I think with this much enjoyment and this much fun, I would have to say yes, but with a condition. The range does have to get better. For any sort of long distance riding. I don't know how they're going to do that. Obviously that depends on the next 10 15 years of the life to see what technology gives us, better battery range, etc, etc. But because of what these bikes are capable of now with that throttle, and how much fun these are, I could picture a lot of people buying these as a second bike. Without a doubt, because they are so fun. And I don't care what bike you have, you could have the most powerful petrol bike in the world. For me, I just think, when you've got something like this and you have that throttle, honestly, if you've never test rode one of these, go give one a go, because they are so addictive. But yeah, I could see a lot of people in the next 5 years getting one of these as a second bike. Maybe not this one specifically, I don't know. I don't even know which one I'm on. But yeah, any sort of electric motorcycle, especially one from Zero Motorcycles, as they seem to be the leading ones. They've got a big range now, and it's yeah, it's obviously getting better and better with each year and with each technological advance that we get. So I can see a lot of people getting one as a second bike, a bit of fun, or, and this is the other or about whether they are the future, if you only use your bike in a town, a city, it's going to be hard in the especially the next 10 years to put an argument as to why you wouldn't get one of these over a petrol motorcycle, because you know, in the towns and the cities the range is absolutely fine. You could be on it all day probably. But yeah, as a first impression, just a lot of fun. that's just basically my conclusion on it. It's a lot of fun. If you want to smile, if you want to laugh a little bit, if you just want that oh my god sensation, get one of these and put it immediately in sports mode, because it's just how quickly you get up to speed without the hassle of having to change gear and everything like that. The noise is obviously a minus. Obviously we all love a bit of noise, you know, for those of us that put aftermarket exhausts on, etc, etc. So that's a bit of a sadness, but it's the future. Cleaner emissions, less noise pollution. Yeah, we don't like it, but it's what's happening. So boys and girls, there you have it. Zero Motorcycles. Massive shout out to them for letting me and Red on one of these test rides. Thoroughly enjoyed that, and yeah, would definitely do it again. Nope, they've let me go. Thrown me off. It's a pedestrian crossing. But yes, thank you to Zero Motorcycles. Go check them out on their social medias. I'll put some links down in the description. Get to your local dealer or get to your nearest show. I hear they do a few of these throughout the year, dotted around the country. So yeah, sign up to one when you can. My concluding thoughts, again, a lot of fun. Smiles for miles and no petrol. So I suppose everyone's a winner. On that note, guys, I'm going to end the video here. So thank you very much for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, cheers guys. Cool. Thought I'd turn it off. I want it completely off.
How was that?
It's fun. It's just fun, isn't it? It's just absolutely fun. That's the conclusion of the video I've just been making. Fun. If you just want to smile and have a laugh, and you have the money for a second bike, I don't know. Do you know what? Yeah. Why would you not now?
What the insurance on one of these would be, but at the same time, yeah, I basically said, like, if I got given one, I'd love to throw it around to and from work.
Yeah.
Just for like a quick bod around on the weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, I can't justify spending that much money up front.
That's a good point actually. I'm going to include this in the video. Yeah, thank you for that. Stole your points.
Steal my content.
I know. You watch, I'll get a copyright claim now. I'll be like, that's my video.
That's monetized now. So
Oh, you're making the money, are you now?